What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and as always, I am joined by a very exhausted podcast dad. Chris, how you doing, man? I know it's been a long fucking day for you.
It has been a long day. The alarm went off at 2:30 this morning, folks, but I'm not going to miss my opportunity to talk to you and to talk some wrestling and probably have, and this is saying something, one of the most unique interviews we've ever had. So I'm very pumped for the show today.
Yeah, no, it feels like psychedelics should have been consumed before we had this conversation. Just based on what we've seen so far, it definitely
the lack of sleep. I might get there. I'm telling you right now. Talk to me in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, well, like we got an incredible show for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, do us a huge favor. Make sure you're following us at Junkies Pod for all things Wrestling Junkies Podcast on X. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, but more importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We need your help to get there, but we're going to break that goal down a little bit. We are at a dead even 365 subscribers. Our goal is to get to 400 by the end of the month. We need your help to get there. Chris, if you could, I mean, we know a magic number. There's a couple of them floating out there. What's the magic number that you want to give today, bud?
I mean, the real magic number is one. Just tell one person. Hopefully that number turns into 35. By the end of the month, we have 400. By the end of the year, we have 1,000. Guys, gals, whoever is listening, go tell a friend. Just go tell a friend and tell that friend to go tell another friend. Let's have some fun. Let's continue to have some fun. Wrestling is in such a good spot right now where everything is fun. Let's keep going. Let's have fun with us.
Could not agree more. And while you're at it, make sure you're following our friends at the Main Event Wrestling Network on all social media platforms. Like, share, subscribe. We've got incredible podcasts. We've got incredible blog writers, meme creators, fan art, you name it. We have it. Just very, very positively minded wrestling fans that want to do nothing more than to talk wrestling. Fuck the tribalism bullshit. We enjoy what we enjoy, and we know how to agree and disagree respectfully, enjoy each other's opinions, but most importantly, still enjoy the product that we're seeing on TV. So again, make sure you're giving them all a follow at mainevent_net and subscribe to their YouTube channel as well. We're trying to run those numbers. And what is a wrestling podcast without a little bit of merch? So go over to our merch store, buy this nifty mug, buy a t-shirt, buy a tank top, buy a beanie. It's finally, it wasn't super cold here today. Oh, let me see it.
Look at no, I don't have it. But look at all those. Oh. Look at all those shirts. I have plenty of Wrestling Junkie shirts. I also have a couple of pretty cool Gorilla Press shirts. And I also need to get more of those Gorilla Press shirts to add to that collection. Plus, in Gorilla Press, we'll come back to you. Use our WWE affiliate link because that's where I got a bunch of those shirts too. Back to Gorilla Press. They have some awesome new stuff out. Guys, go check this shit out. It looks so good. It looks so good.
Yeah, make sure to use promo code WJP2024 for 25% off site-wide. If you are a wrestler, manager, referee, promoter, if you are working, if you're a weekend warrior, you need some merch for those tables, DM Will at Gorilla Press APP on X. They are doing commissions. He's got some incredible shit in the works with Gary J to close out this year and to kick off 2025. So cannot wait for everybody to see what that is. And while we're at it, Wrestling Junkies Trivia Tuesday is coming next week. We are going to be putting out trivia questions on our social media channels. Everybody that answers a correct guess, would you stop it with the fucking wheel?
I didn't do.
Give me PTSD, this
motherfucker. The cat woke up and she brushed the wheel. I'm sorry. Sounds like a good night. What about the programming alert for tomorrow? How about that? Let people know what's going on tomorrow.
Well, let me finish talking about Trivia Tuesday because I didn't get to mention what the prize actually is because you spun the wheel. You just tried. It's your fault. Okay, fine. It's Johnny's fault. Fuck Johnny. Anyway.
Spin the wheel, make the deal.
You will have a chance to win a $20 gift card to Gorilla Press Apparel. That's going to take off a lot of money for one of these incredible new shirts. They've got hoodies, 3/4 length tanks. Not you. No. We don't get to. We're not. No. Damn. We get free shit anyway.
Even more. Go play the trivia. It's not going to be easy trivia, too. It's going to be hard trivia.
No, it is not.
Because I don't mess around with trivia, and I know you don't mess around with trivia.
We do not. Stay tuned for the full details coming this week on our social media channels. But yes, programming note tomorrow, we will be starting at 7:30 Eastern this time. That is because our friend, the good doctor, Landon Hale, will be returning to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. He's made the PWI 500. He's wrestled Mustafa Ali for the X Division Championship at Action Wrestling. He's been to Thailand. He's been to WXW. Next week, he's going back to WXW. That journey is being sponsored in part by the Wrestling Junkies podcast, and he is a first-time girl dad. We have a lot to talk about. Podcast Dad is going to give some fatherly advice. I feel like you need to wear a cardigan for tomorrow's show.
I don't have a cardigan.
You're in your daddy area. You don't have a fucking cardigan?
No, I'm in my dad era now. The daddy era was before the kids.
Sure about that?
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, yeah, make sure to tune in for that conversation. Cannot wait to catch up with him. Few match plugs that we got to do. Coastal Empire Wrestling, Last Man Standing, set to come November 30th in Savannah, Georgia at the VFW Post 660. Alex Kane, former MLW World Champion, is in action. We don't know what he's going to be doing. We don't know who he's going to be wrestling, but all that we can guarantee is he's going to fuck some shit up. Randall Reno will be taking on Chad Skywalker, and this is what excites me. Chip Skyler is getting punished by Daddy. We don't know what the fuck it means, but I don't know. I'm ready for karma to give them a swift kick in the ass anyway. So a little excited, but
not excited for that. You are.
Should be a good card. And what?
I said you're weird.
What?
I don't know why you're so excited for that. You're probably because you're still in their pocket. But go ahead, Manders and Adam Priest.
Action Wrestling with Arms Wide Open, Line Creek Bus Barn. They have been going at it basically the entirety of 2024 at this point. This is going to be violent, it's going to be stiff, and hopefully it's going to be bloody. TWE mostly on edge coming up this weekend, November 9th. We have got Darian Bankson in action defending his TWE championship, and coming up also November 9th, Summit Wrestling Association's 19th anniversary, and they will be crowning their first ever Queen of the Summit champion. Go check out our interview with Harleen Lopez. You can see how she is getting ready for this show. That's all the plugs. I am out of breath. I think it's time to introduce our guest, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'm ready for this, I think.
Yeah. Everybody get ready to embrace the bizarre tonight. We are thrilled to be joined by none other than the Barker of the Bizarre, Rika Wildlee. He's a true showman from Louisiana, and he discovered his love for wrestling at just 8 years old. And since he's made a name for himself, blending high energy athleticism with a flair for the theatrical. And that might actually be an understatement based on what we've already seen so far, just talking to him to get ready for the show today. He's got an incredibly bold personality, one-of-a-kind ring presence, and he turns every match he's in into a spectacle. He's here to share his journey, his passion, maybe a few surprises along the way. So buckle up as we step beyond the big top and welcome the always entertaining Rika Wildlee. Rika, what is going on, man?
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for allowing me on your show.
Pleasure is all ours.
Yeah, this is easily the most unique presentation I think that any guest interview has ever had on our show. So holy shit, this is great.
That means a lot to me. That means I'm doing exactly what I planned on doing. Getting a little bizarre.
We're here for it. We're 1,000% here for it. But we're gonna back it up a little bit. You started watching wrestling at 8 years old. What was it that drew you to this wonderful world of bombast and combat and chaos?
Well, to be honest, the very first bit of wrestling that I can remember watching was a VHS tape at my cousin's house of Shawn Michaels' Boyhood Dream. This was 96-ish. And I remember watching the Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels ladder match. That's one of my earliest memories of watching wrestling and seeing it's not just two guys in the ring, that there's a lot more performance and storytelling factor than just two guys wrestling. Because my dad had talked about stuff him and my grandpa and stuff like that have watched in the past, you know, old NWA and Mid-South and things like that. And it was always basic lock, basic holds. There wasn't really many theatrics. But seeing that match with the ladder and how they played off of one another, Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels, that's what drew me in. So it's been a love and a passion ever since.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's one of the ones, that catches your eye real quick. And then speaking of catching your eye, let's talk about the character. Let's talk about the origin of the Barker of the Bizarre. How did you get here? What's the backstory on why? And kind of tell us where you are now.
Yeah, tell us everything.
Well, here it is, and I'm going to simplify it as much as I can. I've seen 100 different gimmicks, 100,000 different gimmicks come through wrestling because I'm a fan of all. Not just indies, not just pro, but just anything that has to do with in-ring performance and characters and stuff like that. Growing up, I was a huge, character fan. Undertaker, Kane, Doink the Clown, all the real deal characters that aren't just normal people in tights. That's what really drew me in as a fan. So when I went to the school, got my training and all of that, and started developing my own character and things like that, I thought, what has been done and it's not about what has been done. It's about what has been done and turning it, making it your own. You know what I'm saying? Everything's been done in wrestling. That's part of it. But what the wrestling that we know and love, the performance that we know and love as pro wrestling nowadays is all theatrics. It's all about taking your mind away from the craziness that's going on in your regular life and putting you in a sense of awe for a short period of time. And I thought to myself, I was like, how can I give that to someone and bring it back to where it all began? The wrestling that we know and love, the characters, the predetermined outcomes, all of that good stuff started at the carnival. It was a sideshow attraction way, way, way back in the day when it was just a new performance art. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got the big guy versus 20, little people, and then you've got all these different little things that was just drawing a crowd. And I've seen so many different gimmicks that were really dark and done in a darker manner, but I hadn't seen many that was just over the top, in your face, bright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being as I wanted to do the clown thing, because I've always been kind of a huge clowny type guy. What can I do that won't get constantly referred to as a Doink knockoff?
Yeah.
That's where the carnival Barker came into play. I'm a sideshow Barker. I am the come one, come all, step right up. Witness the wonderful weird oddities that I have in store, so on and so forth. And that is where that character was born. It's bringing it back to the forefront that many wrestling fans and newer generations don't even know about, and giving them a little history lesson along with what I'm doing in the ring. If they really dig into the gimmick.
Yeah. No, for sure. And kind of playing into that, and it seems like you really have an attention to the detail, and that includes designing your own ring gear.
Right.
As far as this hands-on approach, how do you decide on each look? How do you know what it is that you're looking to present in a given night?
Well, to be honest, I really don't. It's all about evolving. I started with no lights, and it was just basic bright colors. And then over time, It's got a little bit here and there, and it's slowly evolved into what you see now. And it has helped me not become, and I know my career hasn't been that long. I've only been pro 4 or 5 years, so something like that. But it's one of those things when you go to the same promotions and you wrestle in front of a lot of the same crowd, and you get the crowd stirred up, and they're talking about you and they're telling their friends and all of that. You want to give the people who have already seen you something. But the ones that haven't seen you, you want to give them something as well. And you can't give them the original people that seen you first. You can't give them the same thing twice. You can, but it gets stale fast. So you constantly have to keep them on their toes, And being as I dug deeper into building this gimmick, this attire and everything else, to the fact of, like, when I'm introduced to the ring, I am presented from your town. Everywhere I go, I'm from your town. Okay, why am I from your town? Because that's what a carnival does. It goes from town to town to town to town. I'm always from your town. So by the time I enter through the curtain, they're already sitting on the edge of their seat going, wait a minute, from my town? Do I know this guy? And then they see me with the mask.
Yeah.
So now they're like, did I see this guy working at the hardware store? Did I go to school with this dude? Like, they're watching my mannerisms. They're watching my, they're watching everything about me. They're already invested by the time I even step in through the curtain. And that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, very, very creative, right? Very, very, in depth with your character and all of the gear and the persona and everything. What is the biggest challenge that goes into that, right? So maintaining that high energy persona, maintaining that entertaining style. What is your biggest challenge going from town to town?
Well, my biggest challenge going from town to town is getting promoters to understand that I'm not just a clown. Like the clown, the mask and the clown essence of my gimmick is just a small little smidge of the entire persona. And most promoters that especially are first time, booking me the first time or anything like that, they immediately go, okay, what kind of gimmicks do you pull out? Do you got the little clowny antics? Do you pull out the little bandanas or handkerchiefs out of your pants? All that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't do any of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I am, and I hate to put it this way because it makes me sound like, an egotistical ass, but the fact is I'm a draw. I'm the guy that draws the people in. That is the whole point of a carnival barker. I am there to make sure that there are asses in those seats. I'm come one, come all, step right up, see what we've got in store. That's the whole stick. And if I don't constantly try to push that, then it gets to a point to where promoters only see me as one dimensional. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, you walk out of the curtain, you're gonna catch my eye. I mean, that's pretty damn obvious, right? So, I don't. The challenge of going, hey, I'm not just a clown, kind of thing. Like it seems a little silly, to have people say that because obviously you see the presentation and
right,
it's just eye popping, right?
Yeah.
It makes me want to go, oh, what the hell is this guy about? So,
well, that's the whole point of the hook, man. Is like my finishing move is called the big top. Because I wanted to hear the announcer say Rika Wildlee setting up the big top. That's what you do. You set up the big top. So I mean, it's little plays like that really broaden the spectrum of the entire gimmick in the world of the carnival more than just being like, okay, he come out, he wrestled, he's going back to the back.
Sure.
I want promoters to understand that if you really put enough effort and you really put enough heart into a gimmick or into a style or into a persona, that it can outlast your in-ring ability. It can, you only got so many bumps on your bump card. We've always heard that, there's only so many times you can get slammed down before it starts taking a heavy toll on your body. But the fact is, behind this mask, I could be 10 or I could be 80. The fact is the barker will always be the barker. The lights will always shine bright as long as I present them to the ones who care, And that's the stick. The character, the charisma will outlive the in-ring ability tenfold. And
makes sense. No, it makes complete sense. And let's actually translate into the in-ring ability. I mean, this interview came about because I saw your 2024 highlight reel on TikTok, and it was just like, holy shit, blown away, and knew we had to have a conversation with you. And you hold a couple of championships right now. I believe that you're one half of the current Classic Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions and the SWF Tag Team Championship. Tag team champions, if I am not mistaken. Tell us a little bit about the family affiliated and your tag team partner and kind of how this partnership came to be.
Well, to be honest, okay, so Ethan Sorrow, he has been one who has a very in-depth story in himself. He was put away at an asylum for quite some time due to some family matters that he had from his past. But the fact is he and his partner at the time, Overkill, were going against two champions that were tag team champions at CCW at the time in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They had been facing them and challenging them for a year to finally gain their opportunity to face, to go against them for their championships. And a week before they go to finally get their opportunity to face, the team was called Holy Hell, and to face them, his partner Overkill got hit by a car. So he ended up, going to face them on their own, and seeing as Rika Wildlee was looking for some new attractions for his sideshow, and Ethan was looking for a new partner to take on Holy Hell, I just thought, why not blend the two? And I came and we had a little conversation at the asylum, and I got him his freedom, per se. And with that said, now he is part of the Carnival family, and we are the family affiliated. We aren't blood, of course, but we are family by affiliation. And that is how this amazing team was born, and that is how we have pursued each and every match. We've got Gluttony, the Big Top Butcher, as our manager. We've got Smoke the Reaper as the one who helped resurrect Gluttony, one of our other many, many freaks at the sideshow. And now gaining 2 sets of championships, one out of Arkansas and one out of Texas. And I never thought it would grow and become such a spectacle this fast, but it is very, very amazing to see how quick it's grown,
Yeah. So with you being kind of the barker of this whole carnival that you have going on, as we look ahead to 2025, what are the goals and what's the future look like for the family affiliate?
Well, we plan on hitting the road hard and heavy in 2025, taking some more championships as we can. But the group as a whole is spread all over because we all wrestle at different promotions, some at the same, but we all have our own little solo spots that we perform at. But overall, Ethan Sorrow, Smoke the Reaper, Gluttony, and Rika Wildlee are going to take over 2025 and show the pro wrestling world, the independents on up to the top, exactly how bright and how crazy and weird the sideshow can be. That's all it is to it.
Love that. I love that.
Hell yeah.
I want to go see it. I want to go get my tickets now.
Rika, we do have a question from one of our audience members. Who are some of your favorite independent commentators in the game right now?
Well, some of my favorite independent commentators, one of them is an in-ring commentator or ringside commentator, and he goes by Lightning Larry. He's one that performs here for the UWE, which is one of the main promotions that I have wrestled for here in Louisiana. That is where I was trained, where I started at, and he holds a special spot in my heart just because the first time, I actually got that real deal pop coming to the ring, that right there, that level was from him, so that's one of those. There's a few others. I know their voice, but I don't really know them offhand as far as their name and all that good stuff. But
yeah,
I know without them, there is no art to what we do because they bring what we do to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We paint the picture and they tell the story. That's how it goes.
All right. Well, now as we're kind of wrapping up the interview here, this is a tough one. This is a tough question that I have for you, and I actually don't know where this one's going to go because you've mentioned both in the interview already. When you think of Mr. WrestleMania, is it Shawn Michaels or is it The Undertaker?
To me, it'll always be the one, the only HBK.
Okay, you got one.
I love The Undertaker. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I was obsessed with characters growing up. I was. And I mean, to an extent, still am. They really draw me to the product more than anything else. But the fact is when I think performance, when I think athletic ability, when I think draw, it's HBK all day. Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania.
Again, when you give a good answer, I'm not going to argue. And I'm definitely not going to argue with you because I'm kind of scared of you. But I'm definitely not going to argue this one. That was thank you so much for being on. We really, really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Where can everybody find you on social media? And then where are you going to be in these upcoming months where we can come check you out?
Social media. I've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, and it's all Rika Wildlee. I've Googled it. I've checked it out. I've done my digging. I'm the only Rika Wildlee in existence. So if you Google that, all my stuff will pop up. I mean, you just put the name in Google and literally all my stuff will pop up. So whatever you decide to follow, I'm all for it. I appreciate you guys. You can check out my Pro Wrestling Tee store. I also do all my own logo designs and video editing and all of that kind of stuff. Everything I do is in-house. And that is why I have pushed my product so far and so fast, because I don't have to wait on anybody else to do it for me.
Sure.
I took the time to learn how to do it, which I was kind of doing it for other reasons before the wrestling, but as I transferred over, all of that. But my Pro Wrestling Tee store has like 30 something different design t-shirts and all of that. I would love for you guys to pick one of those up. Within the next couple of months, I'm going to be on the 23rd of November. I'm going to be in Lufkin, Texas with Warrior Wrestling Alliance going against Jack Lovecraft for the Innovative Championship in a Funhouse surprise match, which
sounds right up your alley.
That's what I'm saying. Look at me like that doesn't fit. But it's going to be a bunch of boxes set around the ring, gifts per se, and if we can get to them and open them up, whatever's inside we get to use, and that's how that goes. But that, and in December, I believe the UWE is going to have an event in Alexandria, Louisiana, December 7th. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but it is in the works as we speak. United Wrestling Entertainment. And also, if you're in the Central Louisiana and you're planning on becoming a wrestler, you need to go check out the United Wrestling Entertainment Academy in Alexandria, Louisiana. That's where I was trained under the Mid-South and global legend Dapper Dan, who was trained under Ivan Putski. We know that name. He's the one who gave me my start and opened that door for me to chase my dream. And I know he can help so many others do the same for you. So check out my socials, check out my pro wrestling tees. If you want to do what we're doing here, if you want to join the pro wrestling game, please, by all means, check out United Wrestling Entertainment Academy in Alexandria, Louisiana. And I'll be there to help you go through it if you need me to. But I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for having me on today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Rika, the pleasure is all ours. This was absolutely fantastic, and got a good feeling this is probably not going to be the last time that we see you. So hope to have you back soon.
Sure.
See you, man. Have a good night.
Take care. Thank you again to Rika Wildlee for joining us, and thank you to everybody watching tonight. That's one of the most unique episode interviews I think that we've ever. I mean, that's that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I mean, everything about that was. I mean, that was entertaining as hell. I mean, we've seen some pretty bizarre stuff on this show. I mean,
I'm on the t-shirt shop right now.
There you go. That's
like that was. You know me, man. I'm all Halloween, and I don't love clowns, but that dude was right up my alley.
I like it. I like it. Well, let's move it. Let's keep it rolling around here, man. We've got Monday Night Raw is in the books. There was first Monday Night Raw from Saudi Arabia. Quite a bit to talk about here. I know that you had some spoilers before the show. Women's Battle Royal kicking off. #1 contendership to determine who will face Liv Morgan. Io Sky gets the win. You guessed my reaction to it. Actually, pretty spot on. You knew how I was going to feel about that. You were absolutely right.
So it wasn't about the battle royal.
Okay.
It was about more of the interaction between Liv, Raquel, and the tag team champions. As I feel like they're kind of going towards them challenging for the tag team champions, which I don't love.
Yeah, I don't love the idea of mixing again the singles world championship with the tag team championships. The last time we saw that led to two of the biggest stars in the company walking out. It just never ends well. Okay, and with this, like this just highlights the problem that I feel that WWE has with their women's division that we're not really seeing with the men. Over on SmackDown, we have a handful of people that's like they could go challenge Cody tomorrow. I mean, whether they win is an entirely different question, but they have people that they can put into championship programs with Cody Rhodes. Same thing with Gunther. This is the second time this year that they've had to use a battle royal to determine either the champion or a contender for the Women's World Championship. I can understand it once, but this should highlight, and I know that they're trying to build the tag team division and really to create those stars here, but now we need to figure out what's next for Liv Morgan. Yes, Io is a fine replacement for now, but do we really see with how Damage Control has been positioned on the roster as of late as somebody that's going to immediately carry the banner and be seen as that star that they've tried to elevate Liv Morgan to? And she's been attached to the hip with Rhea Ripley for the entirety of this year for her singles run. That has elevated her, yes, but now her dance partner is on the shelf for the foreseeable future, and now they're kind of having to scramble and do things. It just, again, they need to do a better job. That's just me. I just think battle royals have been done too much for the women's division.
Counter argument, and this is just playing devil's advocate.
Sure.
They have had a lot of injuries. Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Charlotte, Dakota Kai. You got Becky Lynch and her contract situation going on. Like, there's a lot of names not there, and now this is the second time that we've seen this, Rhea Ripley injury bug happen in the middle of this feud, and you kind of have to scramble and do what you need to do. I thought it was okay to have a battle royal. I don't mind the person winning the battle royal. Mine was more of the, I don't want to see the world champion go into the tag feud because, like you said, they need to continue to elevate Liv Morgan. And Io Sky's, I mean, right now, pluck the Raw roster. Io Sky's probably the best choice to do this right now. I mean, because
she absolutely is.
I mean, look at the participants in the battle royal. Like that's kind of where we are. And again, they've just had they've had the injury bug hit the women's division a little bit, and it's hard because you're comparing it right now to all of the really good shit we're seeing in NXT in the women's division.
That's also very true. I'll certainly give you that. I mean, I know injury bug is very much a thing, but I don't know. I think that, and especially because we are still waiting for the introduction of women's mid-card championships, I think that if there was a mid-card championship that that you're kind of getting people heated up to contend for that championship for, that if you did need to pull one of them up in this emergency reserve situation, that you could do it instead of, I mean, because again, if we're looking at the Battle Royal, did anybody really think that Sonya Deville or Shayna Baszler or Natty were going to actually win it? And that's no disrespect to them. It's just that, Natty we're not seeing on TV all the time. Pure Fusion Collective has kind of just finally found their footing as a group, but I'm not necessarily buying them as a force to take the top prize in that division right now.
No, it's kind of the opposite of what they've had with the men's world championship, right? Like everybody feels like a challenger for the men's world championship because they booked them all well. Name your favorite secondary women's feud right now. That doesn't involve a title. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's on them to figure that out, and I think they need to. Yes, thank you so much.
And thank you again, Rick. Again,
yes.
If you were just tuning in, incredible interview with Rika Wildlee. Make sure to
Oh
rewind it back. It'll be in our archives. It's well worth the price of admission for sure.
Yes. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. Because we will have time
real
to talk
quick.
about yes, go ahead.
Yeah, before we do move on, one thing I did really also enjoy is because they teased the face off between Jade and Bianca again. And I was wondering if this was going to be the time that we would see them, just for the sake of getting through the Battle Royal, have a little bit of interaction. The fact that they once again did not put hands on each other.
Yeah, but
I really enjoyed that, how Liv and Raquel did eliminate them to tease that they might do it. But it sounds like that's going to be saved for January.
You could see a little bit of it in
February.
Jade's face. When that promo was being cut, you could see a little bit like Jade's like, okay, you're making some good points. Yes, they're playing it slow. Again, I just want it to happen. But yeah, I enjoyed the promo from last night for sure. A promo I didn't enjoy, and I think I'm gonna be hot tanky on this. Nope, that one was fine. I enjoyed that one.
Wyatt Sicks?
Nope.
Let me check my notes here real quick. I get one more guess.
Okay. You're going to get one more guess in. All right. I'm a little hot take. I think this kind of speaks to it of if you
Gunther?
I did not.
That was a backstage segment. You didn't like Gunther's?
I did not like that, man.
Really?
I don't like him. I don't want face Gunther, man. I don't want it. I know you think it's going. Now. I know you think it's going to work.
I think it's gonna be a revelation. I think it's gonna be magnificent.
At all, that dude is the Terminator. He is so good. You have your giant baby face. We saw it at Crown Jewel. You have your giant superhero Captain America. You have him, dude. You need that villain, and it's not Roman Reigns anymore. You need your Thanos, and that dude is your Thanos. To go back to this comic book reference, they broke up Imperium when they shouldn't have, because what the hell are they doing with Giovanni Vinci? Nothing. And now you're teasing a break between Kaiser and no.
Oh, look at this guy. What's up, Pluggo?
What's up, man? But no, I don't want to see face Gunther. I really don't. I wanted pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm angry. Yeah, he got lucky. It won't happen again kind of thing. Not, we need to be better, and then the tease of the break. I don't want it right now.
I'd like to point out that generally it's only internationally that he has had these face type moments. You're not necessarily seeing a whole lot of that in the United States. I think that's kind of the line of demarcation that I can think of. Right.
Didn't they just announce like 6 Raws and 6 SmackDowns in international markets?
Yes, and that's also my notes to talk about. I love that they're making the Road to Mania include a European tour, because it is one of the biggest parts of their calendar is going over after WrestleMania and spend those 2 weeks over there. It's just good business. So I'm just saying hats off to TKO for printing all that money. I forget. There was
I think somebody said it in a promo a while back that somebody was a millionaire and could be a billionaire if he stopped surrounding himself by yes men.
Yeah.
And he might have been right.
Yep.
So we're kind of seeing that now, going, I'm open to these ideas kind of thing, right? So it's kind of funny how life works.
It's good business. It's good business.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not ready for face Gunther. I need a heel. Roman Reigns was that heel, that ultimate heel for the past 4 years, and I loved it. I need a heel. I'll let this cat out. You make your point.
Who let the cat out? Who? All right. Anyway, no, I like the idea of a babyface Gunther. I don't want to see it right away or anything like that, but I do like that they're just kind of seeing what they have on their hands here with it. That I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. That doesn't mean that he won't get angry. But I mean, when you look at, yes, he is the Terminator, but he treats the mat as sacred. So he looks at it from the true standpoint of competition. Gunther's not necessarily a sore loser that we've seen. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Exactly. So that's the thing. It's like it's so few and far between that, like, when he does have those losses and they humble him for a second, he's gonna get right back on. He's gonna get right back to training. I mean, think of it, just for the sake of this hypothetical. Look at the times that Tom Brady has lost the fucking Super Bowl. Yeah, we know he's the fucking Terminator, but there's a handful of times when he's been knocked off in the biggest games of in his career that he comes back. He levels up. I fucking get it.
You know who beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
You know who dreams of taking a dump on that necklace?
You're never going to do it either. There we go. Just because you said it. Just because you did it to yourself.
Well, just because he put it on. Anyway, now we're going to move right along to the segment between the Usos and Sami Zayn. Sami justifying his actions for what happened at Crown Jewel. This is, another great little bit of storytelling. And this, I've also wanted to put this in my notes here. I think that we get Kevin versus Sami in Vegas. Here's why. So,
where's Vegas? Is that Survivor Series?
Mania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hear me out. Hear me out here. Okay. Kevin Owens is obsessed with the idea that Roman being the bad guy. He turned on Cody and Randy for it. Now Sami is standing with Roman. It's we're seeing Kevin Owens feel slighted by everybody in his life. He ended things on good terms with Sami this time. They didn't split up through any acrimonious attack or anything like that. But Sami will probably find himself on. I mean, he'll probably be on SmackDown this week. Would not surprise me if these guys have some sort of brief interaction as Sami goes and deals with Kevin Owens with Roman Reigns, excuse me. And while Kevin Owens may not do anything about it now, if you don't think he's mentally taking a note of, look what they put us through last year and us going to the main event of WrestleMania, and now you're going back with them, fuck that mess. And both guys are going to need something to do at Mania this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. It's actually a pretty good idea. Good job on you. They have they're going to have some sort of interaction in the Rumble, then, I assume.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, this is going to be a star-studded Rumble. I think it's safe to say that they'll both. Well, I mean,
I think so.
So here, okay. So well, here's the thing. I mean, let's not rule out Kevin Owens getting another title match at the Rumble. That just seems to be kind of his spot over the last few years. But I say that because I don't know that Cody is advertised for War Games, so I don't know if there will be a Kevin versus Cody match there. So let's say the first one is this.
He's got to be on Saturday Night's Main Event, though, right?
That's what I was getting to, is saying, okay, what if their first match is at Saturday Night's Main Event and then build it towards the Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before where somebody has a match earlier that night and still enters the Rumble kind of thing. So you could easily play that off.
Yeah. So, but those are my thoughts on it. It'll be interesting to see when Sami and Roman come face to face.
I don't hate it. No, I liked it last night. Obviously, we've been teasing this for a while, and I think we're getting our War Games match, and this is the logical way to get there. We're still missing one person, and it's going to be exciting to see the Wise Man come back. I will say that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Also, I need Dragon Lee versus Chad Gable Part 2. I need them to run that back. That was my favorite.
Do a best of 7. Just do a best of 7 with them too. Why not?
Right?
Dude, it's good wrestling. Just do a best of 7. Winner gets an IC title match. There you go.
Yeah.
You tell me you don't want to see Dragon Lee and Braun Breaker?
Or Chad Gable and Braun Breaker?
Or Chad Gable and Braun Breaker? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
In. Done. Yeah. 100%.
Take my money now. Yeah. And then main event, fatal 4-way match, number 1 contendership for the World Heavyweight Championship. Dirty Dom, Sheamus, Seth Rollins, Damian Priest. What's up?
You were right.
About what? Which part?
About Bronson Reed. He's still lurking. And you were right. You were right. I'm happy. I'm happy the feud's not over.
Survivor Series is the bigger place to get the win.
He needs to win the next match, though.
I know, and I told you he will.
Okay. All right, you heard it here first. He will.
What? So I will say I'm surprised. Okay, I got swerved as far as this finish because Bronson laid everybody out but Dirty Dom. So I thought he was going to come in, Eddie Guerrero, quick little frog splash, and kind of slither out with the win. Damian Priest channeled his inner Super Cena and South of Heaven 1, 2, 3. So they'll run it back with Priest and Gunther. I don't think that Priest got an official rematch for his title yet, did he?
No, and the other thing too about this is I don't know if you heard on commentary is that Priest won and will have this championship opportunity at a date later to be named. So they're not advertising this for Survivor Series right away. So is this a Raw match? Because what if that's the case? And I'm not saying it is, but what the hell does the Survivor Series card look like then?
And I would say,
if Cody's not advertised,
and
you don't have Gunther on it, because I think the big thing is saying, I think the big thing is we want Punk back. Punk's going to wrestle Gunther at Survivor Series. Is they still enough time for that? When is Survivor Series?
November 30th.
I mean, you got 3 more Raws. You could.
You I mean, theoretically, yes, you could build a program between Gunther and Punk. Yeah, Punk and Gunther between now and the 30th. I just hate the idea of rushing CM Punk back, especially with it just. I don't like the idea, but again, we also only have one match we can really speculate to. I would, and we talked about this yesterday too. Do you have time to build a set? I mean, because Team Rhea versus Team Liv is probably not going to happen, and I mean, unless you go get, you get Damage Control, and then you got Liv and Raquel, then they each go find 2 more people. Yeah,
you know what they should do?
Hit me.
And they kind of set it up last week, and the match is happening tonight. That should be your War Games. The 10
There's no wrestling on tonight.
The 10-woman tag match.
Or
I guess tomorrow. Yeah, that should be your War Games. I mean, why not? Move them over to Raw. You had the injury. Maybe that plan's out the window now. Start introducing them to the Raw audience. Why not? Or SmackDown audience.
I mean,
or make it a special attraction match or something.
Yeah, it's not like they can't. It's not like we haven't seen them get NXT involved in the 11th hour to a Survivor Series build before. And
that was one of the better Survivor Series we've seen ever.
That's up there. That's a goated show up there. That as far as Survivor Series go, that's up there as a goated show. That's just me.
And that match would be awesome.
Yeah,
because the match on Wednesday is gonna be awesome. But
why
not, man? Why not? You got Roxanne Perez, you got Jordan Grace, you got Cora Jade, you have Julia, you have Stephanie McCourt. These are all people that are going to be future players on the main roster anyway.
Yeah.
Delta, I don't want to leave her out.
The only question that I would have is if how would TNA management feel about Jordan Grace getting inside War Games while she's still under contract with them?
Oh my God, she's leaving in 2 months.
Yeah, well, okay, she's still under contract for 2 months. I'm just wondering if they'd be like, okay, maybe this is where we draw the line, but I don't know.
They'll be fine.
It's me just thinking around corners.
Hey, as long as the check clears, you do whatever you want. That's what I'm saying. As long as that TKO check clears, I'm good.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I showed you just because we're talking about Jordan Grace. Did you see it? Our boy Tim Bosby is taking on Jonathan Gresham soon.
I did see that.
That's gonna be fucking great.
Let's go, Bosby.
Anything else that we got to talk about here today?
You want to talk about the Wyatt Sicks since you got the shirt on?
Oh, yeah. Good call. So Miz has been kidnapped by Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, whatever you want to call him right now. I love that they threw back to the Miz Taraj because I completely forgot about the Miz Taraj. So
I've been
the
telling you
fact
about the
that
Miz Taraj.
what?
I've been telling you about the Miz Taraj.
Again, I still forgot about the Miz
listening.
Taraj.
Sorry, MJB. You got to work
Actively
on that
hear that. You know what? Hey. Keep my man's name out your mouth, all right?
I will not say a word.
I kid. No, this is gonna be really, really cool. I think. I like that the red herring. This was a nice touch for this particular story of putting Miz with the Final Testament, just kind of in a very peripheral capacity. Just enough that we're seeing them on screen together that it triggered something in Bo Dallas, and Miz is kind of the perfect person to play off of because he plays scared shitless really well.
That's because he usually is, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Lost a little momentum, I think, with the Wyatt Sicks, but they can build it back up.
Yeah, no, it's they have to have the right story. I don't want to see them on TV every week, but there should not be the extended period between the programs that they finish up. That's for sure. I do think that it took them a little while to really get the program with the American Made up and running, and I think that they're working to kind of correct that this time with how quickly we saw them circle the Final Testament. Now the question is, are we, now that Bo Dallas is going to be tied up with the Miz, are we going to see any of the remaining members of the Wyatt Sicks branch off into their own programs? They don't necessarily need all of them for Bo Dallas to take on the Miz,
Yeah. And the New Day are going to break up next week.
I am not emotionally ready for that one at all. Like, no one gets an entire 3-hour Raw dedicated to your 10 years together. Like,
without somebody turning on somebody. This is wrestling. I've seen this. Or
it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Or Big E's going to come back. One of the two is going to happen.
I mean, I think that you can easily get both out of this show.
I don't want both. I want one. I want one or the other. I don't want a New Day without Big E.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
You know what's not hard to do is say goodbye to you. Bye.
Damn, that's hurtful. Really? Shit. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you attacked me earlier, so you deserve it.
I want to say attacked you earlier. That.
Attacked me. I feel attacked. No means.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's better. That's better. Guys, we got a big freaking show tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Yes. Honestly, this is tomorrow's one of the easier nights at the office for us because it's just, again, we talk to them all the time and yeah, make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, not 6:30. We will be talking with the good Dr. Landon Hale about WXW, making the PWI 500, becoming a girl dad here in the next few months. It's just gonna be an incredible show. Good time to catch up with him. As always, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Make sure that you're following us on X at Junkies Pod, like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. But again, I cannot stress this enough. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are at 365 subscribers. We need your help getting to 400 by the end of the month. There are 30 of you watching this right now. If everybody goes over there, we're only 5 away from our goal of getting to 400 by the end of the month. We need your help to get there. We love what we do. We want to grow our community. We want to grow our audience. We need your help.
Yeah. No. Well said. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Can we keep talking?
No, it's a very nice compliment. Just
and breaking news, we're up to 366.
There we go. See,
out there.
So just one. All it took was one. Just one person within
that's
the sound
it.
of our voice.
See?
Yes.
Did you see that? Look how easy that is, guys. One person.
Yeah.
Just tell one.
Podcast that'll show his feed if we get to 370 by the time the show's over. No, please don't do that.
No, I won't do that. We will lose subscribers if that happens.
Yeah. We don't need that. Anyway, no. Anything else tonight, buddy?
No, I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
I was up here for most of the show, but I'm starting to crash a little bit.
That's the Rika Wildlee effect. Thank you again to him for joining us. Again, that was that was one of the wildest interviews I think we've ever done. That was a hell of a setup.
It's definitely wild.
Yeah. But that is going to indeed do it for us tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, with the good doctor, Landon Hale. Enjoy wrestling. Have fun. Be nice. It's a crazy time in our country right now, so let's just treat each other with respect and kindness. I'm gonna go make a margarita and pray. So for the podcast that I've missed you, Cincinnati, this has been the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow.